Math Humans, we're going to do E3 today. We're going to be solving and evaluating exponential functions. And our objectives are that we're going to do the same. So let's go back and talk about an exponential function. And just remember what we learned yesterday. So we have f of x is equal to a b to the x. So a is our initial amount. So that's how many whatevers we start with, right? It is also going to be the y-intercept. B is the base, which is also the rate of change. And then x is often going to represent time, but it is our variable. And we know that we have an exponential function when my variable is in what I call the up position. So let's just jump in with our first example. We have another short video for today. So example number 1, we're going to be given that f of x is going to equal 25 to 1.35 raised to the x, and I want to evaluate f of 10 and f of 15. So this is a calculator exercise because these numbers are weird enough that you can't do them by hand. So I'm going to bring in my handy-dandy calculator, and I'm going to enter our equation. So we had 25 times 1.35 raised to the x, and then I'm going to quit. And so I'm going to show you a trick on your calculator. So this alpha button is going to bring up an equation that we've already entered. Okay, so if I want to do, and I'm going to show you on your calculator, and then I'll do it by hand. So I'm going to do alpha F4, and notice that it has the equation that I just entered, and I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to tell it to evaluate it at 10, and then I'm going to hit go. Okay, so I would say that f of 10 is going to equal 502.664. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I would have set that up to do it by hand. So it would have been 25 times 1.35 raised to the 10. Okay, so if I do that math, 25 times 1.35 raised to the 10, and notice that I get the exact same answer. So if this is too complicated, this is also very straightforward, and I don't mind which you use. So then let's do the second one. It said do f of 15. Well, that's going to be 25 times the 1.35 raised to the 15. And when I do that in my calculator, so I have 25 times 1.35 raised to the 15. And then I'm going to get 2253.96. Okay? And then that would be those two. So they're really quite simple to evaluate. Okay? So the next thing that I want to talk about is what's called an exponential equation. So maybe I have that previous equation that we did, 25 times 1.35 raised to the x is equal to 200. And so now what I need to do is I need to solve the equation. So the easiest way to do this is in our grapher because I am trying to solve for x. So I'm going to enter two equations in my calculator, so 25 times 1.35 raised to the x, and I'm going to enter the other one as 200. And basically what's going to happen is I'm going to get, this is greater than 1, so this is exponential growth, and then I'm going to get a horizontal line, and I'm going to find that point of intersection. Okay, so let's do that math. So if I go to my y equals, and I clear what's there, I'm going to do 25 to the 1.35 raised to the x, and then my second equation, I'm going to enter the 200, and now instead of doing a zoom 6, I'm going to do a zoom, and I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, which is a zoom 0 for a zoom fit, and then I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to show me my equation, and then I'll show you how to find that point of intersection. Okay, So I entered my equation. Remember, there were two. And then I'm going to do a zoom 0 for a zoom fit. And now I'm going to find that point of intersection. So I'm going to do second, calculate, and then I'm going to say option 5 for intersect. Okay, so I'm going to do second, calculate, 5 for intersect, and I'm going to use my right arrow to get close to that point. I don't have to get to it exactly, just close, and I hit enter, enter, and enter. And when you do, you see that you get the point. X is equal to 6.293, and Y is equal to the 200. But this is that line that we entered. Remember, Y is equal to 200. And so for the solution, to solve the equation, so for my solution, I'm going to say that X is equal to 6.93. So that was actually pretty straightforward. Alrighty, I'll do one more of these for today, and then we'll be done. So this is going to be example number 3, and I want to solve the exponential equation, and I want to solve it graphically. Yay, graphers. So in this case, we're going to be given 20 times 0.90 raised to the x is equal to 15. So to solve this problem, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to enter my two equations. So this is 1 and this is 1. So I'm going to enter y is equal to 20 times 0.90 raised to the x, and I'm going to equal y is equal to 15. Notice that the b is less than 1. B is less than 1, so this is going to be a decay problem. So basically, it's going to look like here is my exponential decay, here is my y value, and then it's going to intersect either over there or over here. So we will see. Okay, and actually it's going to be over here because my y-intercept is 20, so I'm going to put it down there, and that's going to be my point of intersection. Alrighty, so let's put those two equations in our calculator. So if I go to my y equals and I clear what's there, I have 20 times 0.90 raised to the x. Oops, I missed. And then I have 15. It doesn't matter what order you put them in. And I'm going to do a zoom 0. So there's the horizontal line. And I entered a bad equation. Look at that. So 20 times 0.9 raised to the x. My bad, I forgot that little detail. But I knew right away that I'd done the wrong thing because I got the wrong shape of line. Okay? So my point of intersection is right in there, and it doesn't matter if you can't really see it. So I'm going to do second, calculate, 5 for intersect, and I'm just going to get close. And then I'm going to hit enter, enter, enter. And notice it tells me that x is equal to 2.73, and then I'm going to be done. The only thing that I want to caution you about is if you solve something using your calculator, you must sketch the graph, because the graph is your work. So if you're going to solve an equation in your calculator, you have to sketch it, and then I would label x is equal to 2.73 because that's really the only relevant point on our graph. All right, my dears, that is it for today. Another nice short video, and I will see you soon.